Welcome to the Halftime Heroes with the latest sports news from around the peninsula with Adam Kelly, Peter Sasovich, Luke Harris and Neil Craig. Take it away, Adam.
Oh yes, and welcome to another episode of the Halftime Heroes, sports fans. It is round 2 in the MPFNL. This episode we've got Hastings Football Club President Dan Lehmann. We've got Paul Goonan joining us for the Coaches Corner, YCW Senior Coach, of course. We've got the Coaches Corner, as mentioned, the selection table, and the new family favourite is Spooks Soapbox. It's bit of a tongue twister, that one. The takeaways for round 1 in Division 1 and 2 as well. As I go around the room again. Spook, welcome to you.
Hello, Adam. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm very up and about, thanks, mate. Bit dusty, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm sure the commish will.
Get the details. Adam, how are you? Thanks
very
for
well.
joining us finally.
And Sus, hello to you, Pete.
He's back, isn't he? It's great for him to be back.
Yeah.
Just
the plane landed, obviously.
Yeah, the life of a jet setter. He's got his parachute off.
God.
How was your weekend, boys? Spook?
Not as good as yours, Adam, by the sound of it. What did you get up to?
I actually went to Gather Round, watched Collingwood Hawthorn at Gather Round, so that was very good. Got a scarf.
How'd you get over there?
Via plane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like Ansett or Qantas or who?
Ansett hasn't been around in
But it might have been one of their planes. They stripped it. That's the point.
It could have been an old Ansett.
That's the whole point.
Propeller job.
No, so it was an unmarked plane.
Unmarked
and
plane.
Sounds like a stolen police car.
Flight number CFC 24.
Was it unmarked?
Collingwood Football Club.
Folks, anyone the 3 or 4 people listening, it was an unmarked plane because the Exocet missiles couldn't detect it.
No.
And it was full of Collingwood supporters. So
all those
supporters. Richmond and
supporters.
Carlton supporters firing off their penny bungers in the backyard trying to hit it. It unfortunately it landed.
No, full disclosure. Collingwood put on a VIP function.
Did
they? They chartered a flight.
And were you working on the plane or something? Did you take the trolley up and down? How'd you get on there?
I was
toilet cleaner.
given the ticket. No, I was a stowaway, like a
Given a ticket, like given a probation certificate.
I was given the golden ticket.
Would you like a drink for that, sir?
No, it was only water. The trolley? It was a little bit disappointing. It was only water. No, so well done to the Collingwood Football Club for putting on such a function. It was very, very. It was
delicious.
It was, boys. It was.
And you're straight from the airport, mate, aren't you? That's why you're
straight from the airport. Absolutely. So feeling a
dedication.
Little bit hoarse, but we are up for the Halftime Heroes, of course. Episode 2, after a fantastic episode last week with some great feedback. So thank you to the Halftime Heroes family. It is very good to be back, and we were all absolutely bombarded over the weekend, Spook. I know you were at Langwarrin.
Yeah, a great day at
Some
Langwarrin.
positive feedback as far as you were concerned.
Yeah, no, they've done well down there at Langwarrin. The new rooms are fantastic. It's a great setup. They've done well. There's been a while in the making there with their new rooms, but it was a good day down there.
But you're the only assistant coach that has to wear a mouth guard.
It's nice to know you a bit of love.
Bit of banter between
local banter.
Bit of banter the crowd. But apologies to the Langwarrin crowd. I got a bit over the top, but yeah. But
Probably so did they.
They did a great job, Langwarrin. They put on a good day. It was the It's Okay Not to Be Okay Day.
Correct.
And the Langwarrin put on a fantastic day for everyone. The rooms look great, and it's what a great spot to watch footy from there. It's the best ground in the comp, and they've got it all set up there. And
it's a bit windy.
It was
It
a
does
bit
get
windy.
a bit windy.
Yeah, but well done to Langwarrin. It was a good day.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And guys, as we delve in, to Division 2, the takeaways for the round, please.
Well, yeah.
We had a go at this a bit earlier when we discussed the Summy Karinga. Last Summy, that darn good, and Karinga, that darn bad. Or is there a bit of a mix in between? Because Summy have just gone dushka.
Continuing on with their form last year, they can put a hole in teams. And Sammy when they get along their
That's
terms,
right.
aren't they?
Karinga.
Yeah, a little bit of maybe. Do they get a little bit downhillish? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Big win. And Devon, fantastic win against Pearsdale, so they'll be launching into me this week. That's great.
Looking forward to it.
Can't wait for that, Devon.
Good win. When your two bigger recruits kick 10 goals.
Well,
He's probably going to win most games.
You would think so. Good win, though. That's a great win.
The
And,
takeaway for me
Pearsdale.
with that one, Spook, was that obviously I think we all had Pearsdale in our top 5, and they still will finish top 5. But flag favourites,
I had Devon in there too, by the
it's
way.
only-
Wide open.
it's-
You had Devon.
Both in there.
You did.
Mm.
There's
Only
still,
because logic would tell you they should go.
Yes.
we're still not removing them from our top 5, but
Shit, no.
maybe they're a newish team.
Yeah,
Pearsdale,
take a while to come together.
Exactly, they've got to get this shit together a little
Week
bit.
1.
Exactly.
It is
I'm loving Bonbeach.
Yeah.
Love it, yeah.
Loving them.
Yep.
I just reckon they're way too good to be playing in the shallow end of the pool.
No, they are. Hence,
You look at some of the Mitch Gent, Bo Bailey, Sonny Pickett's a good young player, Braden Chappell's back. There's some good players there. Like Jackson Casey, Jack Sullivan, Jesus Christ. It's a good players for Div too.
Yeah,
They'll be tough to beat.
Yeah, exactly
And a
right.
great coach, very well coached they are.
Yeah, and that could probably could roll into the upcoming game this week. Tyabb. Let's find out what Tyabb have got at home against Bonnie.
Ooh, Foxy the boy. Here we go.
Against Bonnie. I know they
Yeah.
got Jimmy down there. Had
Oh,
the
yeah.
peacock feathers.
Oh,
He was down
yeah.
at Mount Eliza with Happy
Nip,
having a
bit
few
of
beers.
nip.
Probably a few too many beers. Those at Tyabb. And,
Or some cuddles down at Mount Eliza, was there?
and,
Oh,
my
was
God,
there
they
what?
had the feathers out like.
Nilo.
As Jimmy goes, meant to come around to my place yesterday have a few beers, didn't turn up. Good on you, buddy. But let's find out what Tyabb have got against a bloody good Bonbeach down at the Nip, the home of the Nippers.
Absolutely.
And if they want to come on as a sponsor, I will say they are the best pizza in the world is La Lupa Pizza.
La Lupa.
La Lupa, if you want to
Well
come
known.
sponsor, is the best pizza on the planet.
Yeah, ching,
really?
ching, ching, ching.
Oh,
Thank
Neil.
you very much.
Oh, Neil, they are outstanding pizzas
Yeah.
at La Lupa.
Yeah.
So beautiful segue, Kamish, because
Thank you.
it will be the Tyabb Football Netball Club and Bonbeach Football Netball Club. That'll feature in the selection table.
When's the last time Bonbeach would have played at Tyabb? Like 1934?
No, yeah,
Would they know how to get there, you reckon?
probably not.
The maps
They
have been
probably-
updated.
Just go, the Bonnie people just go anywhere near the airport. If you get to the airport, you're not that far. You could walk from there.
Mate, don't say airport because they could end up at bloody Tullamarine.
No, not Tullamarine Airport or bloody Geelong or something. At Tyabb.
Oh, Bonbeach, you never know.
There'll be a
where
plane taking off. Just have a little look at where that come from. And you won't be far from it.
Exactly, guys. Takeaways from Division 1, of course. We will be discussing Division 1 in more depth in the latter half of the show. But your takeaways for Division 1, please.
Yeah, what did you think?
I'll go.
Oh, here we go.
I'll go. Don't bring Division 2 football to Division 1.
Oh,
Very
pot in your own club.
Very, very simple. No, I just watched it from the zoo on Saturday night. Yeah.
You're obviously a good boy.
Congratulations to the and I know it's round 1, folks, but congratulations to the camera operator. Oh my God!
Oh, that might have been
here
a
we
little
go.
bit. You don't steal me soapbox.
Is that the is that Red Onion?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, who knows?
No,
it's the 12-year-old work experience.
They
kids
piss
they get
off. They leave the camera in one spot and they piss off and go to the canteen, I reckon.
Yeah. So
The camera will just do it itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
but having said that, we'll get back on topic in that. Mornington.
Got to defend, don't you, in Division 1?
defend and you got
Defence wins games.
an ex-AFL player running around kicking 6 goals. It's pretty handy to tag him. So yeah,
It's a savage lesson for the Mornington boys.
very savage, very savage. So, but
He kicked
boom.
6.
yeah, 6.
Savage kicked 6.
Yep.
Any chance, Wellington?
Yeah. So, good, very physical competition match. So,
When aren't the Pines games physical?
yeah. So, no.
They'll be better for the run. Well coached team. They'll go to work on that.
yep.
They'll be
Defend.
fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah. That's it.
Defend first.
Defend first.
Yep. So
Didn't
the
have
other,
to a Division
the
2.
other take for me, the
Thank you.
biggest takeaway for me, and I think I'll let Neil talk about the game, but looking at the YC score against Mount Eliza, I looked at the scores and I went, wow,
Yeah.
like I didn't even tip them to make the finals. So how good am I going? What a flog. But that's huge. Pine's a bit of an upset, and obviously, and Langwarrin was super impressive against us. So that was about it for the takeaways. But YC massive.
So, are you reviewing Langy finishing on the bottom, or you still think that
Yes,
that might
that's-
just been such they're playing Bombers and we're just going to have a decent
Very good
crack?
point.
Yeah,
Commish.
what it does show is that regardless of where in Division 1, if you don't show up with the right application and you don't play anywhere near your best footy, you can be beaten. I mean, Langwarrin did beat Dramana late last year.
Yeah,
Even though
they did.
Dramana, I think they rested 17 of their best 18. But the point is, Langwarrin was super impressive, and we didn't play very well. But they'll run some teams, particularly there at home. Their ball
And-
movement was slick.
And the shit round. Sorry.
Yeah, you would rather it all on 1 week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
MPFNL,
weird
do us a
Just
favour, just miss
madness.
Easter. Maybe have one Easter game if someone wants to do it and everyone can go and the rest just...
Sound like it'd work for the crowds, though, doesn't it?
The crowds were huge.
Yeah, so, I mean, if that's why you're doing
Over
it,
Easter.
for the kiddie. So.
Yeah, but if you still played your marquee Division 1 game and then your marquee Division 2 game, just leave it 2 games, perhaps. Maybe do it one Easter Good Friday and then an Easter Saturday, I reckon, because the crowd up on the hill at Red Hill for the Dramana Red Hill game was huge.
Yeah. It was. I saw the Watson game.
Mate, it was incredible.
Yeah, massive crowd.
And then again at Rosebud, probably not the crowd they expected, but still a very good crowd.
So maybe do it properly and have it at Frankston Park.
Hey, Kamish, great idea. Maybe a double header.
Is that hard?
Double header.
A double header.
Into the night.
Oh, shut up, Luke. That don't
There
make
it
perfect
is.
sense.
If you had gather round in the MPFNL, where would you hold it?
Oh, gather round.
Peninsula
Stop it,
round.
sus.
Peninsula round.
Maybe the
is
halftime
so
heroes could be chop it in.
So you can get us the plane.
I can get, mate, myself, Jeff Brown, very tight, and
turn it up.
Ned Kelly, of course, Craig Kelly, the CEO of Collingwood Football Club, very tight. We are, don't you worry about that.
Pretty
But
much.
What, you
got
were,
a photo
they were in
with-
11B and you were in 14C or something? So you could see the
Mate,
back of their heads and that makes
You
it tight.
guys would have matching ankle bracelets, wouldn't you?
Boys, listen to me. Chartered planes, they're all 1As, baby. They're all 1As.
Eh? You can imagine the bloody parole board as that plane took off and all the ankle bracelets.
They didn't
We
have
have a whole lot of prisoners.
They didn't have
up
tickets.
there.
They didn't have tickets to get on the plane. They just walked on, and it was just beep.
It was like
beep,
the first fleet
beep.
all over again. The first fleet. But we're on a plane.
We didn't parole them.
I'm telling you right now, there were no less fortunate people on that plane. I'll give you the red hot tip. They're all well-to-do
Yeah, were
Collingwood
they?
supporters.
Okay.
And then there was me and my boy Jake. Takeaways for Div 1 for you, Kamish, if anything, really at all.
Look,
I mean, Mount Eliza, obviously, you're
Yeah,
at
What's going on now?
It was a big, strong, buddy YCW outfit that turned out. I can tell you, those boys have been doing some work in the off season, and they've got some speed about them now too. And we can talk about it more in Coach's Corner. But they looked they were super impressive.
System-based, Neil, or was it an effort-based?
Yeah, no, system based. No, we touched on that. I had an interview with Goons directly after the game. We'll play that shortly. But there's some things going on down there that he's. I think to Dramana, the embarrassing Dramana loss to YC was exactly what they needed in the grand final. I think they're going to come back and say, hey, we don't put up with that shit.
I know it's tough to see round one, Neil, but would you think watching them? Do you think they're just on the eye test? They'll be good enough to challenge Dramana?
I haven't seen Dramana. I'm going to see Dramana this weekend.
There you go. We'll ask
Haven't
next
seen
week.
it. But off the grand final form, no.
I saw Dramana
Not
without,
quite.
as
But
you,
instead of 30 points, it's 3 goals.
Yeah.
as you alluded to, Spook, I saw Dramana on Good Friday, and you mentioned that there were 5 of their best 5 out.
They're their best 4, I think.
And they had a brain fart in one quarter, the first quarter, but then just come out and kick 5 unanswered
Just to take you to
goals.
task, Adam, I think I did ask you the question about whether they were kicking more, and I did go back to the stats just to check how much you know about footy, and they had 83 more handballs than the opposition, so I'm not sure that they kicked it any more than normal. I did double check on.
It's just more handballs.
Yeah, they had handballed 83 more handballs. Geez, they handball a lot, don't they?
That's why he's the host.
Yeah. I just
Everyone has their job.
I just wanted to pot him.
I've never, ever
I'm only potting.
alluded to the fact that I am
An
the
expert.
exactly.
None of us have.
Just watch.
None of us are.
I watched a bit of the game. Obviously, we've got Red Hill this week, so they just
some homework.
you watch Dramana play. They're great to watch.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to watch them play than most AFL teams. To be honest,
Yep.
they're a great footy team.
Absolutely.
Guys are good, and that was with their 4 genuine stars out.
Correct.
Yes, good footy club.
Yeah, I think the way YC are going about it is to, for mine, I didn't ask Paul this, but it's to counter Dramana. It looks like they've had one thing in mind going to the pre-season.
The reality is
we
that-
need to get past over
Totally.
these blokes.
They probably
So they're outside more, Luke.
they have
So
to
we'll
be.
touch on that.
They have to be. Yeah.
We will touch on that. We've just about discussed all of Division 1 in the Division 2 football show, but that's okay. Let's move right into...
No, we moved to Division 1.
Let's move right into Division 2 as we look at round 2 for the MPFNL Division 2 seniors. Obviously, I have already mentioned that the selection table will feature for this week in Division 2, Tyabb taking on Bonbeach at Bungein Reserve. But other games
Big
that
games.
are worth
Yeah, big
mentioning.
games.
For me, off the top, Somerville taking on
it's huge.
at Somerville. That's another big one for me.
Jeez, you wouldn't want to go 0-2 EDS.
Exactly.
You're just sort of waiting for them to come good, aren't we, a bit?
Well, you go 0-2.
They've recruited well, got the big fella down there.
Tough to go and beat Sammy and Sammy.
And you chuck on the flip side, Crib Point possibly going 2-zip to start.
Yeah.
The season.
Well, they're playing Karinga. They'll definitely go 2-zip by the sound of it.
Yeah.
That'll be. We'll replay that.
Cribby, we spoke about this last year. They got so much potential. Haven't they? Their kids were really
good on
good,
them.
Luke. Remember?
Bloody
That
oath,
was
yeah,
from
yeah.
years ago. Their
Yeah,
kids
building.
coming through
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
were really good. If they've retained those kids, which clearly they have, and built on that, geez. And they're playing with 28 points or something.
Yeah, exactly.
The way to go.
Look out.
It is the way to go.
Yeah, that's exactly the way to go now.
Chelsea taking on Rye, of course, at Chelsea Rec Reserve as well. Rye, not getting the job done last week, of course, but it'll be a test for them driving up the highway. Anyway, we'll move along with that one, and then Devon Meadows Hastings at Glover Reserve as well.
Right. Who they go? They go Hastings.
Devon
Hastings at Glover Reserve. It'll be another big win there. We will be talking to the Hastings Football Netball Club president Dan Lehmann very, very shortly, I believe, in the next break. And Tyabb taking on Bonbeach at Bungayan Reserve for the selection table. If we want to go a little bit more into that, or do you reckon we've touched on that enough? It'll be a good test for Tyabb, obviously, in Bonbeach. We've all spoken about them. They're in our top 5 to finish on the ladder. Tyabb, it's a good opportunity for Tyabb to be able to be put to a test early. It'll be a challenge for him, Commish.
Yeah, no doubt. There's probably still a fair bit of hoping down at Tyabb that things go well, but I think that Bonbeach don't hope. They just come out and perform, and like the good teams do. So, you'd think Bonnie would get over them anywhere. They could play out in the car park or on the road or down at the airport, and they'd probably get over them anywhere. But Tyabb have got some good recruits. Whether they're going to be match winners for that footy club, who knows? But always a little bit harder at home. I find that ground a bit of a neutral look down there. I don't find it...
Tyabb?
Yeah, I don't find it super...
It's probably been a little bit hard for Tyabb to have a huge home ground advantage the last 3 or 4 years because they haven't been going so good. But if they can make it a bit of a cauldron for themselves, so they start winning some games of footy.
But
it's a good deck. It's a good deck to play footy.
Good deck, and they have a big following. So a really proud family football club. So there will be
growing.
There'll
growing.
be absolutely a strong netball club as well. So they will be. They'll be loud and proud, and make sure that that Bonbeach are aware where they are if they haven't been there for 47,000 years.
It's actually a good test for Tyabb early in the season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that if they get over Bonbeach, but let's say they beat them 20 points, their tails are up and off they go. They might take some stopping.
Yep.
But in reverse, if Bonnie get over them quite easily, I think same old Tyabb. So it's it's a bit of a crossroad really early in the year.
A lot of those boys know each other pretty well. Obviously, Bonbeach knocked off a few of the Bombers boys that are at Tyabb there in a prelim the other year, so there'll be a little bit of heat in the game. But I think Tyabb, I hope, and I would expect them to be one of the biggest improvers in Div 2. Sam Fox is a great player and a great coach. They've got some good recruits, and obviously last year when they took over the coaching job, it was nearly the start of the season or early in the season, wasn't it, when Foxy grabbed them because of the drama there. So they didn't really have a bit of a lead into last year. So with the whole pre-season, they'll be tough to beat.
Yeah, sure.
And you've got a structured forward line now with Tyabb and Freeman and Clark kicking 3 goals each last week. So it gives them some
Ando's got to
direction.
go back in there as well.
Oh, Ando, the boy. Yeah, the boy.
He's a bloody ripper.
Yeah.
He knows where the goals are, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah. And my man Ryan Marks Logan, then the best, he just dominant.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, a name there. So that has been the selection table, of course, for Division 2. Now, I don't know what you guys did without me here. I'm a little bit fucking scared. You did interview, of course, the Hastings Football Netball Club president, Mr. Dan Lehmann. So we'll play that. We'll play that now.
Best interview we've ever done, I reckon.
Heroes with the latest sports news across the Mornington Peninsula.
Welcome back, everyone. On the line we have Dan Lehmann from the Hastings, the president of the mighty Hastings Footy Club. Dan, thanks for joining us, mate, for a bit of a chat this morning.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Neil.
Mate, the situation down there at Hastings with, we read all sorts of things in the press and there's all sorts of gossip going around about the pokies money and the possible splitting of the entity down there. What is actually, what's going on, Dan?
Okay, no worries. Let's
straight to it, mate. Straight to it.
Straight to it. No, it's good. I like it. So, sort of late last year and even into early this year, my committee we come together with the social club committee.
Yep.
And we formed a working party, and obviously the plan of that was to put together a plan to move forward. So not just for this year, so for the future. So we're and obviously the main cause of that was just a straight result to the downturn of gaming pre-COVID. And so obviously, people not playing pokies, probably the easiest and best way to put it, which obviously is a good thing. And but what that meant obviously for us was we started to absorb the government costs that were just crazy high. Obviously, staff wages and just in just everything in general that comes to running a business. So we had to, formulate and form a new direction and new plan. And to be fair, that probably wasn't really finalised till sort of the end of February, early March. And as a football club, and a lot of your listeners will understand, when you can really only start trying to secure sponsorship and extra sponsorship with about 3 to 4 weeks to go with the football makes it challenging and difficult. So that was probably the base of the working party of what can we do to work towards a solution and to ensure that not just the football club but the cricket club can have a future.
And with that, Dan, it's Sus here. I suppose over the last couple of years, you probably copped it off the council and other organisations increasing rent and all that. And moving forward, do you see light in the horizon there?
Absolutely. So we've come together, obviously, the last couple of years with local members of parliaments and even the Shire themselves. And we've been, and basically, just to be quite frank, that while you're in association with gaming, there is really no support, just apart from the bare essentials. And when I mean no support, it's not as if they're not going to do anything for us or wouldn't. It just means we're on the bottom of the list when it comes to facility upgrades and the works. But you know what? So where we sit now, we're really optimistic about the future and where it sits. The area of our football club is such a huge space, and this side of the Mornington Peninsula, for example, our facility is pretty big, the club itself. So we've got, along with the council, we've got high hopes that we can really utilise the space that we've got out there, and whether it's meeting rooms or who knows. But we're only really 3 weeks in, and we need to really sit down, obviously now after round one, and catch our breath and really look towards the future.
And for this year, I suppose,
Yep.
Are we looking anything that Hastings want to achieve this year, both on the field and off the field?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously on the field first. So we've taken a real, not a rebuild by any stretch, but we've put a real emphasis on our younger talent coming through. It's pretty well known that we had a few departures, but what has that has meant? It's we're in a position now where we need to fast track our youth, and bear in mind our under-19s team played off in a grand final last year. So, whether it's a bit too early or not, we're having to expose some of our talent straight into it, and we're playing against really good opposition and good talent across our division, especially. So, we think, this year might be hard, but at the same time, it's a challenge that we're not willing to walk away from, and our kids that we have there, they're all fantastic. They're buying. They've bought in and they're buying in, and it's going to go really well. I think off field, we're probably at the stage now where we're, before we can get out and run again, we sort of need to learn how to walk, and that's where we are at the moment. We're really, off field, we've got a good team together, so it's not as if we need to fully start again, but we need to really, get our off field, the financial aspects right, and we're really excited for what the future goes to. Like, we had a round one just gone this weekend, which is a massive day for the club against rivals Crib Point. We had over 850 people attend, and great day had by all, and that followed up with our Hall of Fame Coleman luncheon on Sunday. So we've had a really good start to our season, didn't get the result we wanted to on Saturday, but that off-field start is unbelievable for us, and we needed it, so it's good.
Yeah, that's great, Dan. So you've got Gav Artico obviously coaching down there. I guess there's restraints on finances, and it has been that way for a year or two now, I'm guessing, Dan, with this sort of brewing in the background.
Yep.
With recruiting, we all know how hard recruiting is in the off-season. I guess that's affected recruiting to a certain degree, Dan?
Oh, yes and no. Like, obviously, we're all bound by a salary cap, and we'll meet our salary cap. No problems there financially. I guess the challenge for us is the recruiting part. So not only retention's big now, and especially Gav would easily say that it's a lot of kids that play under 19s now, and that's a career basically. They get to that level, then they stop playing. So we've got to focus on our retention. Obviously, we'll have a big emphasis on recruiting to next season. What can we do, to assist Gav, I guess. We need to come together. We've got a good football manager in Terry Green that has a really good relationship with the younger players at our club, but he's really good at building relationships. So I think we need and we want to become a destination club again, and there's a lot of work to make that happen. But I think over the next few years we can definitely do that, especially with the team we've got in place at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I've just got one more. Because I was coaching at the time at Devon Meadows, and we played against Fev down there. Now, did the Fev? I'm curious to know this, where these guys jumped to. Did the Fev experiment work, mate?
I think for the short time, for the burst, yes and no. Like, I wasn't part of, I wasn't the president then, and wasn't part of the committee, but the financial part I probably can't answer. But it did. I know when we had our away games and et cetera, it was received well from other clubs, like the attraction of Feb to come through. So not only did he just play home games, obviously away games as well. I would say it probably worked more than it didn't work, I guess.
Sure. 60-40 type thing, yeah.
Yeah, 60-40 type thing, exactly.
Yeah. We just need that local community supporting Hastings. It's such a great footy club and a great town. So we just need that the local support for all you folks down in Hastings. Get to your local footy club. Got a great canteen there. So get down there, grab a dim sim and a can of Coke or a beer, and watch the boys go around, because it's a great spot to be in. It's got a great feeling after a game. So super.
Yeah, absolutely. I think before I finish up, I think, my message yesterday to all members at Hall of Fame luncheon was, we don't really require people to come in our canteens and work and run our beer booths or be trainers or anything like that. We just need our members, supporters, and people in the community just to come down and support the club and enjoy it. Yep, exactly right. Come enjoy it. So that's where we're getting to at the moment. And it's really exciting. So it's great. But thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Dan. It's great. And again, all the best for the season.
Good on you, Dan.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Welcome back to Halftime Heroes, the latest on local sport across the Mornington Peninsula.
Oh, look, okay. Now, all right, credit where credit's due. That wasn't too bad.
It was a bit vanilla, but,
It was
we just played it safe.
We
don't know Dan.
No,
so
exactly.
we didn't want to push his buttons too much.
Spot on. You held hands before you went in for the pash, and everyone has to appreciate that.
They're in a good spot. I'm liking Hastings at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, no, they've got a little bit happening off the field, don't they? But I think they're going to get through it as a club. Very strong club.
That's okay. You still got your oxygen bag around your neck there, mate. Just hang on. Yeah.
Did it? Yeah. Did you lose a bit of altitude quickly?
There was a couple of drops coming into Adelaide.
Fucking far enough. About 35,000 feet quickly would have been nice.
Oh, no, we don't, because we're elite supporters. We don't fly that high. We'd like to keep it low, so we're in.
Didn't have the Collingwood thing at the back, did it? Like you said, the planes fly around the beach.
Only commercial plane that has strafe coming out of the back to stop the anti-air missiles attacking it.
Has what? Strafe? Yeah. Is that similar to
imagine all the stuff they're going to find in their toilets that aren't poos and wheeze. There's going to be needles. There's going to be powder, tablets, teeth.
I was about to say, what you won't find on the Collingwood players is many toothbrushes. I'll tell you that much.
No. Oh, there was the average age of the average age of that flight was probably around 63.
Right.
So I don't think. I could be wrong.
So it'd be marijuana.
Yeah,
the old
bit
groovy,
of weed, some acid tabs, stuff like that, but no bags. No bags.
Oh, it's fun. We love it.
No, well done, guys. That was a great interview, and of course, really great to hear from Dan down at Hastings Football Netball Club. Let's go straight into Division 1 and see what's happening there. So selection table, guys, we'll obviously discuss a little bit later on, but let's have a look and see what happened in round 1, the conclusion of course, that stupid shit round, as Sus said. Spook, if you're poised and ready to go, let's have a look at what was round 1, please.
Yeah, some pretty good results, some somewhat surprising results. The YC results, the one for me, that was just insane, Neil, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. They jumped them early. I actually got there just at quarter time after the jumping had been done. There were 30 odd points in front of them, and they just couldn't make up that. In fact, it got worse. So they couldn't make up that margin at all. And YC kicked, I think, 2 goals, 8 in the last quarter or something. So it could have been a lot worse than that. But it was a bloody good effort down there.
Yeah,
especially at Mount Eliza when the boys
it's a
are
big
up
win.
new coach.
I think obviously Ricky they'll improve each week with new coach and all that sort of stuff. But it's a massive win.
You mentioned in the first half of the show that, and we have obviously discussed this all last year. Mount Eliza had an issue with their strength. Fitness wasn't an issue, but you said Frankston were very, very fit.
Oh, they do a power of work. I mean, Frankston, YC have always had this reputation of doing a power of work in the off-season, and that might have dropped off over the last year or two, but they've ramped it back up again, and they've come out with these big bodies, and they're big and mobile, and their new recruits are flying. They're fitted straight into the ethos of YCW Footy Club, and it's quite seamlessly. So it looks like I went out to their 3/4 time chat and I mentioned this in the interview we do a bit later on, that Goons doesn't have to do everything. I mean, they all chip in with their own comments. It's all positive, and I suppose it's when you're 30 points up at 3/4 time. But they looked impressive. But it's round 1. We don't want to get to bloody. One thing I promise you, we won't get to YC or Mount Eliza centric. We'll spread the love across all the
No,
teams. But,
absolutely, we have to.
They were pretty. They look good. Yeah. Big and strong.
And Sassu, we touched on briefly Pines getting the job done over Mornington. Pines obviously starting.
What's going on, Sus?
Yeah.
Pines are Pines.
Pines are Pines.
Yeah.
Bit of Pines-itis.
Yeah, tough match. And but again, as we said, don't bring Division 2 footy to Division 1.
Mind you, 22 scoring shots to 16.
Yep.
Mornington's way.
Yep.
Yeah, they
pressure.
kicked themselves out of it a bit in the second half.
Pines pressure. That's what it was. So and when one
outbodied Sus, do you reckon?
Yeah,
there was a little bit of that.
Yep, standoffish. Yeah. So and when Pines got the ball, they moved it, and there was only one direction, and that was straight through the middle. Looking
at the speed of ball movement, did Pines look fast across the ground, or did you think Mornington? Because I watched Mornington in the pre-season, and I thought they looked pretty slick.
Slick on defence into offence, but capitalisation in offence wasn't crash hot.
Yeah.
How did the forward line function without the superstar Jacko down there? They're going to take.
Looked a bit lost.
Yeah, because he's been there for a long time. You look up and you've got big Jacko coming towards you.
Who's playing full forward?
There was a couple. I think Jackson Voss was the main one down there at the moment. So, but they didn't look like they had a pinpoint.
Yeah, they'll miss Jacko. It'll take a while for him to adapt without him. He's such a good player.
And that's opportunity for other players. So that was really good. Their ruckman, I think it's McGregor. I think for Pines did extremely well.
Okay.
So listed in their best.
Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah. So he did. He was probably the main difference. And Savage kicking 6. I mean,
Gabriel didn't play too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting in their best, Shane Savage, Lockie Ord, McGregor Cameron, Jared Richards, of course, a Rye boy. So Shout out to the Richards family, of course.
For Mornington, that's an initiation.
He's not back at right.
That's a tough. Pines know they have a mental advantage over opponents down at Pines.
Yep.
Everyone knows it in the footy community. It's just they have this mental advantage that you're in the middle of the Pines.
It's this 5-letter word. It begins with P, and you go down there and you've got to play that foot. You have to play that foot spot on.
So that's for Mornington to probably get that one out of the way. Is a good thing, and have a really good look at Divi 1 footy. I mean, Newey knows it better than
and
most.
He'll be back next week. He didn't play this week.
Oh shit!
So that'll be good for him. So really good.
Nice. And Spook, Frankston Bombers, of course, your boys took on Warren at exactly right. There's footage of the last goal to get them across the line.
Yeah, it was one of the best bit of players for the day was when we most needed it, funny enough.
Exactly, and few young boys, mate, you were active on socials over the weekend.
We had 4 debutants.
Very proud of them.
Yeah, very proud of the young boys that all played the first game, particularly a couple of the boys I've had a lot to do with for a long time. So we're very young. I think teams will be surprised with how young we are. I think we'd be... I wouldn't know, but we'd be as young as anyone. We're very young, but we're really, really excited. We didn't play that well, but we persisted, and Langwarren were very good. I think Langwarren will be much improved on last year. They got some good recruits. The full forward's very fun. He's going to be a fun player to watch. Got the big dreadlocks and the tats, and he's going for he's exciting. Valor's a very good player across halfback. He'll do some damage, so they'll be better than what people expect. Hats off to them. They probably should have won the game.
It's a typical Langwarren scoreline, that, isn't it? Out at Lenny.
Absolutely.
Just play between the arcs.
Exactly right.
Not much goes in deep.
My boy, it's gone on record sus a lot of times. My boy Mitch Cuthbert, he's back, and a difference.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, they structured up, but they're well coached, and they went to work on us around the ball. We addressed some things at half time and sort of got the game back in our favour, but good hit out. We're happy with it. Good to get the win.
Got the 4 points.
Yeah, snuck away with it.
We might go. Do you want to go? We'll go straight into the coach's corner. Let's go straight in the coach's corner with Commish, of course, Paul Goonan, the senior coach of the YC Football Netball Club.
How close were you with Goons when you gave the interview? Were you like on his lap, or were you like arm around him, or how close were you?
No, I think
because his hands.
It's like
he's a very attractive.
I heard it was the same pillow.
Big strapping young lad.
Swoon.
You're on the same pillowcase, I heard.
He interviewed when he woke up.
Should be called Pillow Talk.
Pillow Talk.
No, that'll be when you interview Cass.
We're
Cass. You've still got marks around your neck from the head.
No. We just snuck. It was actually directly after the game. This interview we're just about to play, and he's a ripper. I couldn't get Ricky. He was a little bit irate, but I will at some stage. But I was lucky enough to sneak into the Mount Eliza rooms after it. It was accepted in there, so that was okay, and just had a chat. So Ricky was a little bit.
Yeah, how was Ricky now? That'd be
interesting. Little bit concerned with some of the players' commitment towards the contest.
Do you think that's valid?
Come on.
No, I don't, because I just think they played dumb footy. They kicked it down the narrow side of the ground. Where pretty much where YC wanted them to kick it. Pretty much every time of the hour and a half that I watched. Yep. I would have thought Mount Eliza's asset is speed. It's not size, it's speed. Kick it out to that fat side of the ground. Give yourself a chance to kick goals, downwind, up spinnaker, and not with the jib in. So, but they kicked it. They kicked it to the negative side of the ground, or the coach's box side of the ground, the clubroom side of the ground, time after time. And it just played into the big body's hands, and they thought, happy days, we'll just power our way through here, and they handballed their way out of it and brought it forward, and that was the end of the game. But I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't change the way they didn't roll the dice and just kick it out of the fat side
which
a few
is
times.
They're normally their go.
Normally their go, but I don't know how they've been trained. I've had no history. I've just been watching them once. I haven't been watching training, but they've obviously got a plan to use that side of the ground.
Yeah.
When it's blowing 30 knots from the southeast, it probably doesn't work. Yeah, I was a little bit, but I don't think it was valid. I think they're as committed as anyone down there. It's their body size that is their concern. I mean, you can be committed as you like, but if you're giving, they're probably across the park, I reckon they're giving them 7 or 8 kilo per player.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So then they have to match, but they have to.
Well, you have to get the ball out to speed.
I think when YC get the game looking the way they want it, they're hard to beat. Yeah. If you get into a punt down the line, kicking it to their half-backs, and they transition from there, and you don't change that, you're in trouble. So YC have the ability to get the game on their terms so often. It's very hard to break out of it.
Yeah,
so,
but you need to be able to take that away, don't you? An
course you do.
element of just take it away from what they want.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I just felt as though Mandelizer just gave them what they wanted. Tom,
bit
we didn't
gun-shy.
make any head. There was no scoreboard pressure thus.
Yes.
You know, so their 30 points went to 36, went to 40, went to 45 points in the finish. So
Jones played?
No, Jonesy didn't play, but Patullo didn't play either. So.
No, Patullo played. I checked.
Oh, you did?
He did.
Okay,
He
so
did,
I
boy.
didn't. But
Yeah, right.
But they looked. I was a little bit sort of surprised that they didn't change things up a little bit. But having said that, it's everyover's first game.
course,
Ricky,
of course, it'll be okay.
he's going to work out what he's got. He wasn't too wrapped in some of the commitment. I'm not sure about that. But let's see if they commit this week against Dramana at Dramana.
No, exactly.
Funny though, it's funny. The matchup wise, Mandelizer will get the game more on their terms against Dramana because Dramana want to get the ball and start
Correct.
flicking it around, and so do Mandelizer. So it'll actually suit them probably playing. It'll be a fast, frenetic. Off we go. So it'll be a good hit out for them.
Yeah. So we touch on a few little things in the interview, which will clear all those comments up.
Yeah.
But it was good. And we don't want to be Mandelizer.
No,
we want to get
absolutely.
across all the teams and
we
get
will
all
be.
the coaches involved and all the presidents involved in what we're doing.
It is the only second episode, of course, of Halftime Heroes, and we will get around to all the clubs because we love all our clubs.
We
and without
love them. We can only be one spot at one time.
No,
mate.
that's exactly
They
right.
don't necessarily all love us.
No, that's true.
That's
all right.
good.
Who cares? Exactly.
No, that's you, Spooks.
when you say us, don't sort of.
Could be me. I think Adam's safe. I think
Some of us don't mind actually being
Commission's
liked.
safe. I
Just
think.
write down the time because we'll cut that up.
Never
as a
been
reel.
somewhat of importance to me if anyone likes you. I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
I think
Right.
you
As
would-
long as the people that I like me, I'm good.
Exactly,
Yeah,
like
correct.
Mrs. She likes it, doesn't she?
Oh, she loves me.
Oh, she
I'm
does.
positive for round one. I think out of Division 1 is 2 new under-19 sides. So
Yes.
Sorrento and YCW.
That's
So,
great. That is great.
It's sensational.
Yep.
Sensational for football.
But
That's
on
what we want.
one, sorry, I forgot to mention on a positive note. I know I get criticised all the time for potting Devon, but on a great note for Devon was their 19s playing, and they've got a strong group now. I'm close to stepson plays in the team. They got a really good group. They won a good game of footy, and it's exciting for Devon to have a 19s group now that they can hold on to and progress into their seniors because they haven't had much of a
Are they
team there.
super young? Are they should be under
They're
17s?
No, their 17s have come up. They're
Okay.
legit 19s,
Righto.
but it's good for the. I know at Frankston we haven't got a 19s at the moment. You need an under 19s program where you can draw from. So well done to Devon, and good luck to those young boys. They'll have a good year.
Absolutely. And shout out to one of my boys down at Aftercare, of course, Dazza Drewy.
Drewy, me boys.
Yeah,
I love it. They're good
absolutely.
boys.
So he's got no idea how to download a podcast, but hopefully the...
Good on you, Drewy.
Drewy.
Join the club,
He
son.
knows how to download a beer.
It's like
Don't worry about that. So does his son.
it's like the
They all
curse
do,
of
the Drewies.
Devon, isn't it? It's like the curse of Devon Meadows.
Drews? Yeah.
And
They're like
except-
the Gertzes.
yeah, and the
Yes.
Gerts.
They're great boys.
Exactly.
Good Collingwood
And
boys
seeing,
too.
just as there's just another Gertz in football, I see another one's made the Vic State team in women's football. So
of course you
congratulations there.
did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course you did.
So I think that's 84 Gertz in.
Well,
Unbelievable.
guys, Goons is
Sorry,
waiting.
sorry,
Let's-
sorry,
waiting.
Sorry,
Leeds
Goons.
waiting, so let's jump straight into the coach's corner with Paul Goonan, the coach of the senior football club.
Halftime Heroes with the Coach's Corner.
I'm here after the game with Victoria's coach Paul Goonan of the YCW Footy Club. Just got over Mount Eliza by 45 points. Goons, great start to the season at Mount Eliza, mate. There's one put away.
Yeah, absolutely, Neil. You certainly one you want to get done and put away early. It's handy. So good start. And we spoke about it before the game. It's a first sort of step and first battle in a long war, we called it. And we wanted to win that battle, and we did. So really pleased to start that way.
I guess with all the hype around Mount Eliza too, with Ricky coming down, Ricky Johnson coming down as the new coach, and that sort of stuff, it was always going to be an extra sort of element to the challenge too, wasn't it? So really pleasing to see that.
It does. It adds a little bit of level of anxiety when you come in. So you know he's a good coach. You know they're a good club. So you come here and you know they're going to be better, and so you got to be up for it. And today we were. We started really well, and it looked like we couldn't ever really crack it open, but. I think we kicked 2 goals 8 or 2 goals 7 last quarter, so we probably should have done a bit better last, but we'll take the win any way we can.
Yeah. And great to see spring in the step of some of those older boys, Kev Lilac, Byron Barry, running around like bloody 16-year-olds, weren't they? They were fantastic, covering the ground beautifully.
They are. Kev stepped down as captain, and he stepped down out of our leadership group this year with a view to just get back to playing footy. And he's blossomed because of it. So he gets there early, does the extras before training, does extras after training, and it's showing in the way he's playing. He's just he's a ripper down there for
Yeah,
us.
so the rest of your players, the recruits that come in, Riley D'Arcy was a focal point down there, wasn't he? And how many did he kick today, mate?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay,
sure.
right. But he gave you a focal point.
He did.
The ball was coming in really hot and hard with that wind. But
yeah. No, he's been
helps you set up.
Enormous for us.
Yeah.
In our pre-season games, I don't know how many goals he's kicked. We've only had 2 prackies, and I think he's kicked goals in both of them. But yeah, he gives us a really good a second look. You've got Patullo down there as well, and when you can do that and separate them like those, 2 really good focal points. He's such a hard worker too. So we love having him.
What YC, mate, really strong on the body today. Has there been a conscious effort by the players to get themselves really right?
Yeah, we don't do that. They just do that.
They?
All these guys, they do extra work and they hit the gym and they're in really good shape physically. A lot of the stuff they do now is a lot of you and I don't even know what they do these days.
No.
But they do all. We used to go to the gym and lift biceps.
I've seen Lammy's stuff on Facebook and that sort of stuff. He scares the hell out of me.
But they're all core. They're all about core stuff and standing up in tackles and strong bodies in contests. So they do so much work that off the track, and they get reward for it now. And some of these young kids, some of these, Lucky Bryce, I thought today was fantastic. He's so strong in tackles.
You stand up in tackles.
Bailey, Bidgood, Heath Bidgood as well was another one. Just this is their second year out of 19, so they're 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds now, and they've just grown as footballers physically as well. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. A conscious effort to hold space around a stoppage.
Yep.
You seem to be holding space really well.
Yeah.
I noticed Chim was well out of those stoppages sometimes.
Yep.
Normally he'll go get it, but he stayed well out, 4, 5, 6, 10 metres out of a stoppage sometimes. Yeah. Really nice spread. Has that been a conscious effort over the
we're changing the way we play a little bit, which is like everyone has to keep evolving.
Okay.
We're just trying to get better. We've been exposed a bit by being sucked into contests.
Too many balls.
Yeah, exactly. So we did some. You would have seen today. We did some different stuff with some of our bigger bulls, as you call them, were going forward rather than being there together. So and again, they can mark it and kick it as well. So it's good to have them in another spot. Yeah,
absolutely. And leadership. And went to your 3/4 time huddle, and they talk really well. These guys, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They lead naturally.
Yep.
Which is just a huge asset to have. You don't have to say everything.
No, that's right. So we've got Byron. Byron's one of our coaches this year, taking on the role as a defensive coach. And he's I don't know how old he is. I don't want to ask because I reckon he's 38 or 39 or something like that.
You're better off not knowing.
Better off not knowing.
Yeah.
But he's such a leader. I mean, he's talking the whole time and he's instructing blokes all the time where they should be. And Kev's the same. Kev Lilacs, and we've got him down there. And so when they go in their lines and do their line talk, line sessions, and they speak really well. They've got a little team within a team. Yeah. And they're happy
with each other, aren't they? They're really comfortable in each other's company, which is great.
So, it was good effort for us. And a lot of work goes into it, as you know, because pre-seasons are long, as you know, and to get through it and then get round one done
and get that result
have a really good win, you go, righto, it's sort of worth it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers, mate.
And well done today, and look forward to talking to you a lot throughout the year.
I hope so.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. Cheers.
Welcome back to Halftime Heroes, the latest on local sport across the Mornington Peninsula.
Oh, fantastic to hear from Paul Goonan, of course, coach of the YC Football Netball Club. I get a sneaking suspicion that there was a little Neil just getting a little bit of movement. Was there? You can't help yourself with him, can you?
Oh, my God.
You can't.
Goons.
It almost is like you were rubbing
his
shoulders at the same time and caressing his forehand, mate. There was something going on there.
Do we have to? I'm not sure if Neil was walking and he had to go Goons or Cass, and he's got to go and talk to someone. It'd be a tough call. He loves Cass. He loves Goons.
Loves Cass.
Loves Ricky.
Loves Cass's cuddles.
Ricky.
Loves Ricky Bob.
Anyway,
Bobby.
Selection table. Let's get it rolling.
Let's go straight on selection table, Spook. And who are the heroes, please?
Lots of good games of footy in Div 1, but I think the Sorrento YC game is looks like an absolute cracking game
Belter.
of footy.
It will be throbbing down there. Yeah. I'm talking about the Sorrento. Throbbing. It'll be a throbbing on that veranda.
Throbbing contest.
On that veranda, it'll be a throbotron.
Down at Sorrento, there's some throbbing wallets getting around. That's
throbbing
about it.
wallets and some throbbing egos.
And some throbbing pockets. No, only joking. Great game.
They'll have a mega-sized lunch.
Yeah, they will. There'll be
all
big
get on the red.
Prezzo lunch.
Go nuts.
It will go. It will go. Well, let's dissect this game, please, for the selection table in Division 1 football. Sorrento, of course, hosting Frankston YCW down at Dave McFarlane Reserve. What do you like about this game and why have you chosen it, Spook, please?
I think the midfield battle's what I'll be looking forward to. Obviously, Gladman in Sorrento, we've got Shannon Gladman, Dylan Clark, Miles Boholke will go through there with Buxton going into the ruck. You've got a genuine gun ruckman with Sorrento's genuine gun mids.
He's as genuine as they come.
He's a big boy, and he'll give them some first use, which will their midfield are pretty impressive. So hopefully they can, if they get the ball out of the middle, get it moving forward, get into their forward half, which will then, it'll depend on how well that the YC backs, like they always do, if they defend it like they do and they get the ball going the other way, it's going to be a great game of footy.
It's going to be a huge game of football.
I'd expect Sorrento to really challenge.
They will.
Down there.
Mark my word.
They'll be right up for the battle. And the YC now have got to probably, I don't know how many blokes going back out of the team, 5, 6?
Yep.
So it's a tough thing. Like, they have all these players come in, they play well, and then 6 go out. You've got to bring 6 new troops in.
Yep.
So, I expect it to be
so that system potentially that was working last week, might not work as well because you haven't got those key players in there.
The system won't change.
Yeah.
The troops change.
Correct.
Hence, they're a great footy club. They have a great system. Everyone knows it. That's why they've been so successful. The difference with other clubs is when it's personnel-based and the personnel goes out, then you struggle.
Yeah.
That's what makes great clubs compared to the not-so-great clubs. Because you can replace anyone. If everyone knows the system, they'll just roll 6 in.
Yep.
More difficult.
It's the quality, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But they'll be fine.
Yeah. Probably the biggest change, and we touched on the interview with Goons, is the controlling of the Bulls. So it's we had a running of the Bulls. But this is controlling of the Bulls, where they're not all collapsing on top of the ball now, whereas that was their strength. So they're staying out.
Yeah,
and it's so notable. There was a couple of times against Mount Eliza where Mount Eliza couldn't believe they were first to the ball. They'd bumble it out. Guess who's waiting? 3 or 4 big yellow jumpers going and Bushka.
Yeah.
And we're used to them.
It was a really noticeable change, Adam. It was a noticeable
They must
change
have
in
done
the way
some
they're
work
playing.
on it.
Absolutely.
They have.
And that's what we've noticed. What YCW in the past is they've been in there.
Bulls. Yeah,
Jeez.
so it's a noticeable change. If they can keep them out and 1 or 2 go in, or wait for the opposition to spit it out to you. AFL, let's have a look at the way the AFL's played these days. It's all bumbly, fumbly, bounce of the ball, could go anywhere.
Yeah, you've got to
go
outside, there's no doubt.
So Dramata-esque. That's what I'm saying. I reckon our whole pre-season's been based around let's get across the top of these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dramata play out, bang, it's gone, and a handball over, forward handball over the top.
Everyone's chosen Dramata, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
if you think you're a chance to win a flag, you're probably thinking, well,
Target
we're
the
going to have
best.
to go through them, aren't we?
Correct.
Yeah.
And everyone else below that should be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
So,
it's going to be a great game of footy.
Dramana Mount Eliza down at Dramana Reserve 2. Very, very good game. That'll also put Mount Eliza to a test.
The speed of that, fast.
Too
It'll be a great game. Be red hot. Yeah, great game. Awesome.
Frankston Bombers, of course, taking on Red Hill Spook up at Baxter Park.
Our first home game should be a good hit out. They've troubled us a bit since I've been at Bombers. Red Hill have always really troubled us. They
just match up well.
They play a good game, good brand of footy. He's a great coach, and they always set up well against us. So we expect to have a fun hit out. Come
Who
Saturday.
picks up Jono Ross?
Not sure. Well, unfortunately, our full back, Dill Garrett, our vice captain, he's still in hospital. Just a bit of a shout out to Dill. He got a big knock, bravely stayed out there. Hospitalised, he's got compartment syndrome, so they've had to operate, drain the blood. Then he has to now stay in hospital for another 5 days until the swelling goes down. So the poor brave young man, stuck it out and basically
a massive cork.
Yeah, got a big whack and stayed out there and it just blew up. So hats off to you, Dylan. We're all thinking of you, mate, because it's not great to be sitting in hospital for 4 or 5 days when you're, just playing a game that you love. So, but a brave effort. So he won't be going to him, but we'll come up with a matchup. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
Try and not let it get to him. Will be the going.
Exactly right. If you fire him up,
but they do.
He just improves.
Good recruits. I went through their video too. Geez, that bloke they got, Michael Gresham, number 13, little midfield. Ooh,
yes,
good player.
He's
good tank. Geez, he looks pretty big and strong.
He's strong.
Gets the
ball. I know.
He was antagonising.
Yeah, I know. I said, can't wait to see go.
And the Red Hill faithful love him.
Oh, you'll probably
love that hard brand of football.
Yeah,
good test for the Bombers.
Oh yeah,
great
just give me a
test for the
test.
Bombers.
Yeah, no.
Good test for the
Probably
Bombers.
the one you need right now. I know.
Yeah.
You don't need to come up against one of the top cats, but just
No, we could probably
someone
not.
who
I'm
you
happy
think
not
you
to,
should beat, and let's see how we go.
I'm happy not to play Dramana all year, really.
Yeah,
Can we just
go
miss that
camping or
one?
something? Take the whole crew away.
And then Langwarrin taking on the Pines Football Club at home again. That'll be a test.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Open deck. So Langwarrin should.
Yeah, I
rebound.
think it'd be a good game of footy. Langwarrin will run them.
Bigger ground.
And Mornington hosting Rosebud Football Netball Club. That'll be a test for Rosebud. Test for both teams, I would have thought.
I think the ground is the biggest test for Rosebud. I mean, they go from Olympic Park there. That is as good a deck as you, and they've got to go to Mornington. That is vastly different deck.
The last couple of years Rosebud have been down there, they've struggled.
Oh, they would. You could fit the Mornington ground in the Rosebud 3 times, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And you got Newey back. So Sus, the importance of Newey just for a mindset for that footy club, that must be huge to have him back in.
He's nearly a spiritual.
It's like Jesus is.
Yeah.
It's like everyone stands a few inches taller, don't they?
They do, and he sets the bar. So they've got a couple of outs. So Sus is out with a concussion for 21 days.
Probably a broken
Didn't do
snooter.
the dishes, Sus? Didn't do the dishes?
Was that the other one?
The other one's got a broken snooter that will need probably...
It looks like a Picasso. He looks like poor Timmy. Looks like a Picasso
He
painting,
does.
doesn't he?
It's a Pine's nose.
So Lockie's out for the new protocols 21 days.
Yeah, 21. So it's rough. Got to adhere to that. So, but that's footy. We'll keep on marching on.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That has been the Division 1 Halftime Heroes part of the segment as we jump straight into now the fan favourite, the family favourite. We've got the new segment and it's called Spooks Soapbox. Spook, get on it, please.
Yeah, it's very early in the year to be going off my tree about March, but I think Sus mentioned it before. Whoever films the games, this is not to all of our listeners, but obviously everyone wants to watch the games afterwards. But from a point of view of the football coaches that want to get the footage and watch it, for God's sake, get a decent camera person going. Like, don't get the 12-year-old work experience kid to film the game, because it makes it, if you're missing big parts of the game, it makes it pretty hard to cut up footage, and it's obviously pretty professional now. So get it sorted out. And then the stats, Prem Data, get your little cronies to get it done as early as possible, because every coach on the peninsula in every league is waiting for the vision to come out, the stats. If it doesn't get there till late Sunday night,
I was going to say,
people have got to work Mondays and they've got to get stuff ready for Tuesday. Just hurry the fuck up, Prem Data, would you?
I've had a chat with Prem Data and understand what the reason is. So what happens when they don't get camera footage? They just do a mental telepathy check and just see and just try and work out
Get it to the average.
Yeah, and where the ball has gone for the last 30 seconds.
Nice. That'll do, because it happens sometimes.
That's why
it's hard to pull bloody stats when they're filming the tops of fucking trees, isn't it?
And I tell you what's funny now, we used to get the stats a little, but what's changed is, and I had a couple of the young boys who played their first games
and the young boys,
geez, are they waiting for the stats to come out? I mean, there's no bigger stat lover than my young bloke, don't worry about that. But these young blokes are just sitting there all day waiting, and my boys' stats don't really matter, just, but it's
how it does.
But geez, they love it.
You know what, if it drives them, who gives a fuck? Like, if
the young guys love it, don't they?
Oh, Neil,
the old blokes don't, because they got fuck all of it. What, 5 times? Got more than 5 times? Remember Fletch and those guys?
Oh, yeah. Premier Data
touched it more than 5. That's
you wait
wrong.
till if someone's had 30 on, they're like, oh, geez, they missed one kick. I'm like, does it matter?
You're getting paid $150 a touch, mate.
Exactly.
Theo.
Oh, Theo, big boy, big Mick. Oh, God. So, anyway, Prem Data, you weren't too bad this weekend, but please make sure you get everything ready as quick as you can, and cameramen, just do it properly.
Absolutely. Follow the bloody football is all we ask.
I've got a little snippet. My son Lee played up at Tura.
Yes. How'd he go?
Played at Tura in a practice match.
Yep.
And within the crowd, there's a sheep on a lead. Not leading for the ball.
Was that his?
Watching the ball.
Was that his wife, Mrs., or was it his pet?
Girlfriend, boyfriend.
Could have been his lover.
Did
he
loves.
have?
Well, the
footy.
sheep. The sheep
Any Velcro glove sort of action, or was
Don't
he bare
know what there was.
sheep,
but I'd love it.
The sheep identifies as a woman.
Mind you, there was a spit ladder on that night, so I don't know. Where'd he go? Who's feeling like a sheep?
With the sheep?
Where is it?
Was the sheep the spit, or the spit was the sheep?
Oh, I don't know. They couldn't find the sheep, and there was something spinning around the rotisserie on their $10,000 draw.
Oh, that big day.
Huge day.
Huge day for a pracky match.
Day.
And
cracking match.
you were
Round
too,
one.
You were too
Is
busy
there anything
being
better?
cuddled by Cass to go and see anything of
It's
it.
2-hour drive, Adam. Take the bloody van up there.
The country footy, though, like, you know,
Yeah,
you
good
go
as
to the
it-
footy,
There's a
you've got to
sheep
have
on a
a
lead,
beer or
Spook.
two, and you've got to think about out in the country, you just get absolutely plastered, drive home blind,
absolutely.
nothing changes, no one cares.
Yeah, it's
No,
great.
no, just the pole. There's
because
no,
the-
just the pole around the
Oh,
ground,
yeah.
nothing else. So
Because the
little
local-
Brooklyn's running out in the ground and
Awesome.
The
That's what
local
it's all
cops
about.
driving behind you. Local cops driving behind
Yeah.
you, pieces of
Oh,
parrot.
yeah,
trying to
blind
follow you.
yourself.
This bloke knows where he's going.
Exactly.
Hey, there's
Anyway.
All follow the sheep.
Don't we love country
Country
footy?
footy.
Oh, might have to
Country
get up
footy.
there
It's been the last country footy do I went to was Mafra, where we was assembled in a paddock.
In the
we,
hills.
we all assembled in a paddock, and you paid your money for your ticket, and it was up where you had a flag, and you put your flag in the paddock, and you
Cow Lotto.
Cow Lotto.
That's the one,
Yeah,
mate.
good.
Been out there,
Unbelievable.
Catani
Cow Lotto.
days. Beauty.
free drink until
Yeah, I know.
the lotto comes up. It's
the best.
And 6 hours later, kaplonk.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's nothing better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Country
There was a
footy
game
at
up
its
at
best.
Mansfield, but I had some vision of it, where they do the grid on the ground. The chopper comes across, drops 1,000 golf balls, and how many golf balls finish in your square? It's great.
That's
How
great.
good is it?
Good fun.
Unbelievable.
Very good.
That's
How
excellent.
good is country
Eh?
footy? How good is country footy? Well, that's
Yeah,
a wrap
it's
from the Halftime Heroes, of course, for what has been a fantastic episode. Round 2 coming up this Saturday. Of course, I'd like to thank Dan Lehmann, the president of the Hastings Football Netball Club, and of course your boy, Mr. Paul Goonan, commish, senior coach of the YCW Football Netball Club. Coach's Corner, fantastic, well done. Love your input, Goons, and of course the commish, just grabbing him after the big W. I like that from you.
Very
Thank you.
cranky,
Keep
was
that.
still after the game. Very
Keep that coming. Sus, thank you, Master Button Pusher. Thank you.
Been a pleasure. Another great show. Looking forward to footy this week.
Absolutely.
Down at the Doghouse on
Doghouse.
Saturday night.
Doghouse.
Saturday night.
What time Saturday night for the listeners?
5 o'clock. We'll be down there.
5 o'clock bounce.
Bounce. So you coming down there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Yeah, okay.
I'll shout
Sounds
you one.
good.
Shout you one or two. So
Oh, jeez.
we'll get going.
I wonder if he's going to just go with the crowd and players like he did last year.
Yeah, the heroic at 8 o'clock at night, having a go at Devon.
You go fuck yourself and no one was there. I love it from Sus.
See ya, folks.
That's it for all the Halftime Heroes. We'll see you next week.